Yo, 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 Algebrainiacs. We are back at it. Alright, we're doing section 4.4, part 2. So, welcome to the Johnson-Kendro video hour.
But it's not an hour.
Yep. So, we're going to do factoring quadratic expressions. Now, we've already done a little of this, but it's going to get a little more tricky, so we got to pay close attention.
All right, we're going to use these steps when a is not 1. So remember, standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c. We have been working with polynomials that have a 1 out in front or quadratics that have a 1 out in front. Today they don't necessarily have to be a 1, and it gets a little more complicated. I do want to tell you that these steps actually work for the other types of problems. I just think that they take a little bit longer. So here are your steps. They're different than last time. I'm going to uncover them and give you a second to hit pause and copy them down.
Do, 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 do.
And
All right, welcome back.
highlight a couple of them. Okay, step 4, list the factors. This means a times c. That is very different than what we did in the other method. We had to do just the factors of the c value. I think that's it that I wanted to highlight. So let's just start with some examples, and we're going to follow up the steps one by one. Okay, so it's got to be in standard form. Make sure the terms are in the right order, and they are. Follow your steps. Look for a greatest common factor. Sometimes there is a GCF, and it will make your life so much easier if it's out of there, but we don't have one. Okay, I see that there's a 2 out in front. That's how I know I'm using this method, and I'm going to draw 4 blanks. So that's step 1 and 2. We can put the first term will drop right down into the first blank, 2x squared. And the last term is going to go down into the last blank. Make sure you include the sign. So that means I have empty middle blanks. We're on to step 3. Steps for the middle 2 blanks. You need, or the signs, I'm sorry, for the middle 2 blanks. You need to use the same rules that we did before. So remember, if you had a plus C, your choices were plus and plus or minus and minus. And it was B that made your decision. And if you had a negative C, you had one of each. So I'm going to look at our problem here. I have a negative c value. That means I have 1 positive and 1 negative, and it doesn't matter which you put first or second. All right, next, list the factors of a times c. So this is different than our method before. My a value is 2, and my c value is 9. You get to ignore that negative sign because we've already taken care of the positives and negatives. 2 times 9 is 18. Kendro, factors of 18, go.
1 times 18, 2 times 9, 3 times 6. That's it.
7, 8, 9. So that's how we know we're done. Okay, I want them to add with one of them being a positive and one of them being a negative. I want them to add to get to 7. So that's going to be 2 and 9. That goes in the middle. Now make your choice. My positive 9, and it's going to go with my plus sign because it has to end up being a positive 7. And my minus 2x. Also notice that today we're putting x's on those middle blanks. So really what I've done is I've just taken this middle term and I've split it up into 2 new things. Okay, I think probably most of you will be able to fill those in no problem. We have done step 4 and we've done step 5. Now we're on to step 6. Factor out the greatest common factor between the first 2 items. So look here, ignore the rest, just these 2 things. You're looking for what's common between those 2, and it's x. So you're going to factor it out, undistribute it. The leftover is 2x and plus 9. Then you're going to repeat the process here. So now I'm ignoring the first 2 and just looking at the second 2. Now if you look, I've got a negative 2x and I've got a negative 9. And those 2 things do not share any factors. But for this method to work, you always have to take something out. So we're actually going to take out a negative 1.
Because they're both negative,
That's
you can
right.
do it.
And anytime your third blank is a negative, you want to take out a negative. And let me show you why. When you take out a negative, that's going to change both of the signs of the items inside. So this will change to positive 2x, and this will change to positive 9. And that is really, really important because the things that are inside the parentheses must be exactly the same.
Oh, it's looking kind of cool.
Okay, and then I'm going to go back up to the steps. Now I have 2 terms that share, they really do share a GCF, and the GCF is actually the parentheses. So now I'm going to take that out of both of the terms. So 2x plus 9 is being undistributed. So that means it's gone and it's gone. And if you look, I should have 2 leftover things. That represents my things in my second set of parentheses.
Wow, that's pretty fancy.
It is fancy, and it does take a few minutes to understand the concept, but I really like this because there's no guessing and checking. You just get the right answer every time.
Very cool.
All right. Let's do another one of those. Okay, looking for a greatest common factor. I don't see one. I noticed that there is an A value that is not a 1, so that's how I know I need my little 4-spot method. You're going to drop down the first one. You're going to drop down the last one. Don't forget the sign. Okay, then I want to put signs on the middle 2 blanks. C is the key. It's minus. How do we get a minus?
1 of each.
1 of each, a plus and a minus. Okay, next we have to decide what gets filled in there. So we're going to take my A times my C. So 3 times 12. Remember, you get to ignore the sign because you've already taken care of that. Kendro, factors of 36, go.
Oh boy, 1 times 36, 2 times 18, 3 times 12, 4 times 9, 6 times 6.
That's how we know we're done.
Yay, we got a double.
Okay. Which of those, with 1 being positive and 1 being negative, will add to get negative 16?
2 and 18.
There we go. All right, now you got to make your choice about what sign goes with what. The negative has to be the larger one, so negative 18x, and then positive 2x will go together. Filled in all the blanks. Now we're ready to do our GCF removal. So you're going to look at just the first 2. The only thing that they share is an x. The leftovers are 3x plus 2. Do it all again. What do you notice about them?
Both negative.
So we're going to take out a negative.
And they both have a 6.
Good. So minus 6 will come out. Then remember, you're going back and you're really dividing those by negative 6. So this is going to turn to a 3x. And this is going to change to positive 2.
Hey, it matches.
Yes.
Woohoo!
And it must match or you messed up. All right, last step. You want to look. Your common parentheses. Now those are going out. Both of them going out in front. 3x plus 2. And when you do that, your leftover things go in the second set.
Very cool. Hey, can I try one?
I think so.
All right.
All right, here you go. Cutting Kendro loose.
Oh my, let's see if I can do this. All right, first thing I do, I notice I have a 4 out front, so I got to do my 4 blanks. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a plus. On the end, I got to make the 2 middle ones plus. Oh, wait, before I do that, I'm going to drop this down, and I'm going to drop this down. And
She
that's
can put the
positive
plus,
3,
yeah.
So then the pluses go here.
There you go.
All right, so now I take the A times C, and I get 12. Johnson, give me the factors.
I'm not used to this. You do all the factoring. 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4, and we're done.
And we're done. So which one of those adds to 7? Looks like that. So I did 3x and 4x.
Oh, I love it when they have the same sign, so we don't have to
Yeah.
think very much.
Yep. And so now, looking at this, I want to take out an x. So I get 4x plus 3. And then looking at this,
Uh-oh.
I can't really take anything out.
But you have to take something
I'll
out.
take a 1.
Okay, good idea.
All right, so 4x plus 3, because 1 doesn't change anything. So then, I take this and this out front.
Because they're the same.
Yay. And then what's left over goes in the other one.
Good job.
Woohoo! I'm so happy.
Factoring is fun.
It is fun.
It's like a puzzle.
Yep. All right, ta-ta for now.
All right.